Hey, what's up? I'm Amin Dhillon, and welcome to my podcast. I'm sitting down with the movers and shakers and the stars to chat about life, love, business, and being a total boss. It's raw, it's candid, it's the stories behind the headlines. This is In Conversation. Thank you. Okay, let's get started. So ready?
Yep.
All right. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm sitting down with the CEO and president of MATT NAT, Mr. Manny Kohli is on the podcast. Sir, thank you so much for being on the show. First of all, how are you doing?
We're doing good, Own a business, especially like this tough time, bigger the business, bigger the headaches. But I think if you're a fighter, with so much experience, we have seen ups and downs a few times now. So, experience makes you tough, to make you better.
Mhm.
But on the top, you want to make sure you are positive. Positivity is going to keep you going. Like I said, this is a challenge. Be happy, smile on the face. It's all come from the top. If you are happy, you show positivity in your conversation, your staff is going to be happy. They say, hey, our boss is, our CEO is happy and he's not bothered with the pandemic and all the problem we're facing. So it all comes from the top. And I learned one thing, no matter what, have a smile on the face. Life is too short.
That's a really good motto. That's my motto too. Life is too short, so make the most of it. Speaking of experience, you've been with the company for 20 years, so that's quite a bit. You've seen it all now. But I wanted to know your journey in joining the company because you didn't start the company, someone else did, but you are now leading the company. So what is the story? How did you end up understanding the company, getting to know the company, and then being able to take the leadership?
I think I was born with something to do with fashion. So when I was very young in India, came from Punjab near Jalandhar and Kapurthala. My mom from Jalandhar, my dad from Kapurthala. My dad had a clothing store. So remember I was like teenager, 12, 13. I just posted a picture on Instagram not long ago wearing my flare pants. I was maybe 11 or 12 or 13, not more than that. From day one, I was happy to get a new, make pants that time, go to tailor, design something, very young age. And then when it's ready, you wear, amazing. And then very young age, we moved to Montreal. My mom's side, the whole family is here. So we moved here. But, I didn't like it here because India had a life, friends, everything. I was young even though, but still, here it was a very quiet, different life. But then, not too much in studies, so I thought I don't need a degree to make my life, interesting or successful. So very little education here, but I took a degree in India. So then we started family-oriented business, electronics. Back then, electronics business was huge. When Nintendo, right? Nintendo was so big. I sold for 7 years. It was very, very big,
Mm-hmm.
like Sony TVs and electronics and all that gadget electronic, right? But always, but all my money that time too was going in like shopping, buying denim, clothes, and etc. That's what I did when I moved to Montreal. The next day, I took my uncle to La Bay. I bought my first denim, first heel boots, and copy of magazine. I always say that I was in heaven. I was
Mm-hmm.
so happy.
Mm-hmm.
So from day one, I wanted to do something, but dreaming. I used to dream, even though I have a electronic business, very successful. And that time, you put a little money, you make huge money. These days, opposite, you put huge money, you make little money.
Mm-hmm.
But I always wanted to do something fashion. So I met, actually, you'll be shocked, I met my ex-partner at Winnipeg.
Oh, you did?
I did.
That is
I went only
amazing.
once. I went only once. It was October, I think 2000 or 1999 or 2000, something like that. One of our common friend got married there. So we were there for 3 days. So this my ex-partner, I met him one time actually in Montreal,
Mm-hmm.
like briefly, and then there we were together for 3 days. So he told me what I'm doing. He knew about me, what I'm doing, small community in Montreal, so everybody know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So then, we came back after the wedding and then we get in touch with each other. after a couple of months, he invited me to his showroom, very small. He was young, uh, without any experience, and the money, just came from uni and no money.
Mm-hmm.
Most of people, right? So then I said, okay, I'm going to come because I always want to do something fashion. So I went to see it, but that time in my mind, it didn't came that, oh, I'm going to buy his 50% of share.
Mm-hmm.
It did not.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to see his showroom. I saw some of this collection, very small. I said, yeah, it's nice, good, very nice. And, when I asked him the price, I didn't like the price, it was too expensive, no brand name, nothing, no leather, but I respected that, he said, I'm never going to touch any leather. I said, that's great. That like really clicked in my mind. I came back, and then I think one day we were having a meal somewhere and lunch together at a Chinese restaurant. So he asked me, he's looking for a partner. And I was still doing healthy business electronic. So I said, you know what? I might be interested. I might come join you in your company. So that's it. When I said that, he didn't leave me alone. He used to call me every day, Manny, when can we sit? When can we talk? So I'll make sure the story short. So one day, I said, you know what? Okay, send me your financial statement. So when I got it, I said, no, this is too small for me. I can't. I'm doing still a very healthy business. And then, but he kept calling. So then I said, okay. And then, we come to agreement to buy his 50% share. But I was excited that I'm going to in fashion business. But I had in my head, I know my experience, I can make this business one day a multi-million-dollar business. I have all in my mind.
Really?
Because when I have something I plan before I plan anything. It's already in my head, my vision, and all that. How we're going to go to this a big brand? I had everything
Mm-hmm.
in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So then, anyway, we shook hand after 2-3 months. I bought his 50% share for nothing. I became in the company. I invested a lot of money in the beginning because I was still very successful with my family business. My dad and my brother, they were still running the business. So I came out for that business, and I was happy I'm going to the fashion business. I was really happy.
Yeah.
And then we had 400 square feet showroom where everything we used to do himself and myself, design, marketing, and selling and everything. Not so long. The first thing I did, I moved from 4,000 to 2,000 square feet office, and at the back, small storage room. Why? Because when you have 400 square feet small, your thinking become very small too. It's thick, they are small. But when you go to bigger location, so you start thinking big. How we're gonna fill this space now? So then my uncle was in Hong Kong since I would say 40-35 years now. So I had a couple time conversation with him to find us a factory. Then we had another supplier in Montreal through somebody. We went to see him. He gave us a couple of names in Hong Kong. So I think I came in, and after maybe 3 months later, so one thing we decide that time when I became his partner, we love our country. Canada is great. Montreal is an amazing city, but here, to produce, it's very limited. We can't find amazing fabric, amazing production team. It was very hard. I saw first 2 months, all his headaches. I said no, but already we agreed that we're going to take to Asia the production. So after a few months, put him in the plane. He went to Hong Kong for 2.5 weeks. He came back with 30 styles. So I did the pricing of the styles, and then a couple of style he said is the price is too low. He wanted to put at $38. I said no, we're putting at $24. Nobody knows. But first that we changed the name. First the logo was VV, a vegan. We changed together MATT and NAT, material and nature. And then I said, no, nobody knows MATT NAT yet. We need to get in the market. Price is everything. So we still have a very healthy margin. So we'll put a couple of styles like instead of 38, 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
And a week later, we have a show in Toronto. And a week later, we had show in New York, Accessory the Show. We used to participate twice a year. So those first two shows, Whatever he was doing for 1 year sale, we did double in 2 shows.
Wow.
Yeah. And after that, we never looked back. We never looked back.
Amazing.
Every season, every year, we were growing 100%, 300%, 400%. This kind of growth we had.
Mhm. Let me
And we
ask you, what do you think attributed to that? Was it just the word, like people understanding what the brand was about or whatnot, or do you think it was maybe the change in products or what you were doing that changed people's perceptions?
you're absolutely right. It's the product before, the collection was very small.
Okay.
So when we went to Asia, the collection we really expand quite a
Mm-hmm.
bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more variety of the styles,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then when we did the show in Toronto, New York, on the show on the shelf, the product looked white, nicely like displayed. It caught people's eyes. And on the top, the price point we had made it very interesting price point for a lot of retailers.
Mm-hmm.
So some retail used to come, when we talk, but we told everybody we are vegan company, we're vegan, this is all vegan, we don't touch any leather. We're showing the world we can create beautiful accessory, don't kill any animals
Mm-hmm.
without killing any animals, right? Some they say, wow, great job, guys. I'm very happy. But some they laugh on our face. Yeah, I'm happy with my leather bags. I'm selling leather bags from ages. But one thing for sure from day one, whatever I have done in my life, only quality. We have delivered quality.
Mm-hmm.
Even our product today, it's quality must.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter the margin. You may have a small margin, but the quality is must. So that time, people when you used to feel the fabric, the look was very interesting with leather look. So people, some say, oh, wow, we are selling leather bags for so many years, but touching this fabric, it feels like a leather. And they start smelling. It's not going to smell because it's no leather. So interesting. But some, like I said, they laughed on our face. But today, those people, when we see sometime in New York, they appreciate. They said, wow, you guys are thought that time and nobody thought about it. So, yeah, so those are they're happy now what we were doing.
Of course. Manny, let me ask you 20 years ago when you started showing these products out, that's something now that a lot of people are getting behind. They're really aware of brands that are against animal cruelty. And a lot of people are looking at all aspects of their life to go, like, how can I reduce my damage to the environment, to animals, to everything? 20 years ago, that movement, do you feel like people were getting behind it or were you a pioneer in that?
We were definitely pioneer, but that time environmentally wasn't that big.
Mm-hmm.
But later 2007 it was start picking up, 2008, 2009.
Okay.
So those are the year. Then we say, wow, everybody start talking about environmental friendly. So that's why we had a full-time employee in Hong Kong. So we would pick up a phone and call her to find a fabric, something that it's environmental friendly, is recycle, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So we found 2008 lining or inside the bag is made of 100% recycled plastic bottles.
Mm-hmm.
So we found that time. And since then, you know what? It was stuck here in my head that whatever we have to do now, we have to follow that stuff, that eco-friendly. It's our main priority right now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially find we're a vegan company, that will be always there.
Mm-hmm.
But how we're gonna make it now a different level,
Mm-hmm.
So whatever was a different level, or environmental friendly, that's what we did from A to Z, and we are doing even a lot more late, like soon. Soon you'll see this fall. There's going to be a lot more in our company, changing completely environmental friendly.
Manny, do you have an idea of maybe how many of these, let's say, recycled bottles have you used in your products?
So the first year when we started, so whatever our production capacity was, it was only 100,000 bottles.
Okay, but still, that's a lot.
Yeah, for 1 year. But today I'm proud to say we recycle, and it's going to be more next year, 9 million bottles.
9 million.
$9 million. We are partner in factory in Taiwan. And so they are recycling. They have a whole plant. Even I have visited there too. We have all the document that is true. It's recycle. How they recycle everything. We have documents. And when I went there, I was blown away.
Hmm.
I was blown away. Amazing. I mean, and now actually there's so many factory in China. They're doing same thing, but I must say that the quality in Taiwan, what he's doing, it's more expensive, but it's quality. So we since then 2007, 2008, we are partnered with this company.
That's amazing. But imagine that. That many bottles could have ended up just in the landfills, but because of your company, we are. I mean, I'm imagining already the impact on the environment not having all those bottles out there, right? So that's amazing. These are really difficult times right now for any company, but now you are the CEO. You're the man in charge of everything. You're the leader. Everyone that works for you is looking at you to guide them and how to survive 2020. So, first of all, we had COVID-19. So let's talk about that. COVID-19, obviously, it's affected everyone, but especially for you because all your stores have had to be closed. So, can we talk about the impact? How has COVID-19 affected your company and how have you tried to minimize it?
So, COVID-19 has started from China, we all know, back in September, October, but in North America in first week of March,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It came in Italy first. We were
Mm-hmm.
there during that, and we came back next day. I heard in the news that in Milan, like thousands cases overnight. And we were there. I came back day before. We were there with my designer for 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we came back at the office, and like so
Mm-hmm.
fast it happened. There was a lockdown, everybody stopped working, shutting down. Our manager in Bellevue Square in the store in Seattle, he was the first one to pick up a phone and call, Manny, we need to shut down. We got so many cases in the mall. Our life is first. We understand you want to keep it open. I said, no, I don't want to keep it open. Your safety is our priority. So let's close the store. We closed the first store, I think was March 12 or 13. And then within 3, 4 days, everything was shut down. Our office was shut down. But, so many of us started working from home. First, we not used to working from home. And we get up in the morning. I do part or yoga, then get ready, then go to the office. We are so used to it, this, and we love it. It's the passion, right? But working from home first week was challenge. But then, like you train your mind. We are be sitting home for next 3 months minimum because we know in China, in Wuhan, people sat almost 3 months. So we knew it. We're not going to office very soon. So we trained ourselves. Our staff was the priority. Safety was the priority for them. So some staff we had no choice. The store were closed. We have 14 running stores. So out of that, like all was shut down. So we had no choice. First 3 week, we paid everybody, and then no choice because it's going to be for drag for very long. So we had to let off a lot of people. But I told everybody personally, anybody need any help, I'm here for them. In the good time, I'm here for them for a bad time. Everybody understood, and but some key people at the office, like accounting team, designer, marketing team, we since then we've all been working from home amazingly. And like I said again, I am taking very positively. The business definitely went down quite a bit, but we still thank God we had still online business presence is amazing. So our first week when we shut down, our online business went down, I would say 50, 60%. But then every week, 2 weeks later, it jumped 40%. Like whatever we were normal time, when we did last year, same time. But in March, after 2 weeks, when we were sitting home, our business jumped 40% more. I think everybody was home. They have nothing to do. Everybody was shopping online. But all our retailer, we are dealing with over 2,000 retailer worldwide. I would say 2,500 retailer worldwide, and they all canceled their remaining spring orders. They have canceled a lot of their fall orders, so a lot of order got canceled. The fall order at the factory we managed to reduce. Some we cannot because it was too late. They already produced everything. So we shut down at a very peak time. all our stores are right now full of stock. All our warehouses full of stock. But you know what? I am not worried right now. I don't want to think about tomorrow. I want to think about at a present time. I'm healthy. If I'm healthy, everything will come back.
Hmm. Let me ask you, Manny, but it sounds like online, it seems like there's the big opportunity there. So even if you have all this stock, can you not continue selling it out until you're sold out just online?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. We
So there
did.
you go. Yeah.
We did. I mean, because we already had so much stock, because we have to plan this 1 year ahead.
Yes.
What are we buying for the season next year? For right now, we are planning already, designing everything for fall 21
Hmm.
and fall spring 21. We finished everything few months back.
Hmm.
So we worked ahead time, right?
Hmm.
And but everything was bought, everything was in our warehouse. Some shipment even came in April, and 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 full of stock. All the warehouses full of stocks. All our stores full of stock. We're gonna have a lot of stock left over, end of the season. And then we have to worry. The fall shipments are start coming in, and the storage, where are we gonna put? Because all our warehouses are full. But I am not worried for tomorrow. When it will come, when will the the container will be on water, I'll worry then. I don't want to worry today.
Manny, what happens when, let's say, there's a season's product line, and let's say, like in this situation, you have all this leftover stock? Have you thought about how you're going to be able to maybe like reuse or repurpose that stock?
No, actually, because fashion, how's that work? Let's say the colors is hot right now.
Hmm.
Next season might not be.
Hmm.
So every season, we have two big seasons, right?
Hmm.
Spring, summer,
Hmm.
then fall,
Hmm.
winter. So every season color change.
Hmm.
Let's say whatever we have spring 21 color now, but spring 21 next summer it'll be brand new colors.
Mm.
We have to kill that color and we have to bring new colors. We have to keep it fresh. We bring new styles. We have to change. So we add about 15 colors every season, new colors. So we have to keep it fresh. So some of the old colors, when it's leftover stock, no matter how good is the season, end of the season, you're always going to have leftover stock, right? So then we have outlets, our own. We have two outlets, and the third one we're supposed to open in July 1st in Vancouver. So because of pandemic, now we're getting the key in August 1st. So like 5-6 week of construction, and then we'll open in maybe in September, May in Vancouver outlets. So all our leftover stock will go in the stores, the outlet stores. Yeah. So that's where we then it's a the channel we have to sell our leftover stock.
Okay. Manny, also 2020 has not just been affecting businesses with COVID-19, but also, as we know, there's been a lot of growing issues in the world. And right now, currently, in particular this month, we've got Black Lives Matter, that movement, and we've seen what's been happening, the protests. We've obviously had it here in Canada. I know Montreal has had its share too. And then obviously this month we've got Sikh history. We've got 1984. Everybody is remembering what happened there. As a brand, I took a look at your Instagram, and you just recently, your social media team posted something for Black Lives Matter. And I was reading the comments, and, some people were supportive. Some people thought you should do more. By the way, I really liked how your team was responding to messages, apologizing for perhaps not doing as much as they could. And you've made donations to support the protests and the movement. How do you make those tough decisions to go, okay, this is something that is beyond the business, but it's important for us to acknowledge it and try to make it a conversation using our platform? How do you do that?
So we want to make sure that we stay very positive and very calm. We don't want to act like very with anger. We want to make sure we are very positive and a very calm way to educate them what we have done in the past, what are we going to do now. Like it's so sad, Mr. Floyd, what happened to him. It's so sad. Every couple of years something happened. Every year something happened all over the world. Then somebody lose their life. It's very sad what happened to Mr. Floyd. He did not deserve to die like that. And trust me, when we found out the news myself, I was in tears, when I saw the video. So what the hell is going on? Oh my God, that's very disturbing. It was very sad. Honestly, if you look at our Instagram page, if you go back 2, 3 seasons, you're gonna see we do not care about the color. When we have hire models or we hire staff, we never look at the color. We look at their skills. So look at our previous seasons, like post on Instagram. You're gonna see we use all color models. Not all. Somebody said, "Oh, Man United, they use always it's all about the white. They're a white company." It's not true. Last couple of years, it's so much happening in the world. Siberia, there was a wildfire. Australia, there was a wildfire. In Punjab, India was a wildfire. We donated everywhere. The company donated because we brought one style. It's called Hope. It's called Hope, and it's now since 2 years in on our exclusive website. So let's say you buy that bag. It's $70. In UK, it's in £50. In euro, it's in 50. It's a €50. And if you buy a bag, we donate that 100%, that money, people in need. So like I said, anywhere we see any kids that they need money for any reason in needs, they need for school and they need something for medical reason. So I want to go myself there and deliver with my own hand.
Mm-hmm.
And we already donated $250,000. My goal next 5 years to donate $2 million, to our e-com channel.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, we take it very positively. We don't get upset even the comment, even negative. We learn something for it. We're not like who's 100% like correct. We need to improve ourselves. So any comment like this, we always learn something from it.
Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to commend you for that, because I think right now businesses, everyone's watching them. And, before they used to kind of stay out of social issues. And now, because I think just the movement has grown so much that they have to say something. Their customers are expecting them to say something. And it's like, how do you know what is the right thing to do? What should you be doing? So that's why I think a lot of people are looking at the diversity that are at these companies and then how they are responding. So that's why I wanted to ask you. When I saw that post, I was like, that's good. But let me ask you, I didn't see any posts about 1984. So is that something that you consciously do to stay away from maybe certain historical moments?
Well, I did yesterday on my personal page, but then I have to take it down because once you post that black, thing, then then I learned that you're not supposed to post anything after that. So I did post something 1984, but then I have to take it down. But it's yesterday. I was talking to a couple of my friends. We were sharing what happened in 1984. I was in Montreal that time. I remember going back in 1986 in India. Oh boy, it was scary. Police everywhere. It was very scary actually. But it's in our heart. It's gonna stay there forever. I, yesterday, like I said, the time was like that. I could not post much, but I start posting few. But then on the first one, when I post, then I see that, oh no, I have to take it down because after that black post, you're not supposed to post anything.
Yeah. But as a CEO, you're not afraid then, it seems like, to be opinionated and share your opinion and share your platform to say it's not about selling bags or promoting your business. It's also about having a stance on what's happening in the world and not being afraid to comment on it.
I think it's good to share and educate people who we are, where we come from, our gurus, what they have done for another religion. I think our religion, every religion is amazing, and that they teach us only one value. Be a good person, help others, right? Nobody say like anything bad. So I respect all the religion, and but I like to share like so many are English or another like religion friends. When we tell them about our gurus, what they have done, our Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, like Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when he was only so young, 9, 10 years old, and he told his father to go give your life for other religion, for Muslim religion. So they like that. They like to know about that, right? So it's definitely I'm proud to share that story.
Yeah, I'm glad you are too. Manny, let's get back to the business side of things. So, 20 years you've been running the company. That means there's been a lot of experiences, a lot of ups and downs. I want to ask you, when you look back and reflect, is there a moment in your career that you look back and wish you could have done things differently?
I think, there's no regret. There's no definitely not regrets, but I think if I talk about eco-friendly, I wish that I could found long time back something for our, the main collection.
Hmm.
The outer body is also recycled. We've been looking since 2008. It was a big challenge. We could not find. We found just a coconut or pineapple fabric, but the look is not there and the colors are very limited. And MATT NAT all about the look and the colors, right? We do so many different colors. I said every collection. So yeah, I wish you could done like 10 years ago, something like that. What we're doing now.
Manny, is there a process you take when, let's say, somebody comes to you and says, we have to make a decision, we have a situation, we need a decision today, and you don't have the answer? What do you do? Do you have like a process you do to kind of arrive at it?
So what I do is I like to work with a team that they don't just come with the problem, they come with the answers. Those are the team I like to, spend the most of the time with my 8 hours at 9 hour, whatever time at the office. Those are the team I like to work. They don't just come with the problem and they come with the answer. I listen to them. I sometimes, you know, your baby, about your baby, you're gonna know the best. You know what I mean? So when they come and they're sometimes very worried, and then but it's a small problem,
Mm-hmm.
and then but I listen. I tell them, tell me, what shall we do? Give me a few options.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're giving some option, I say, great, you have one right option. Let's go with this. Let's try that.
Okay.
And you know, and like I said, we are not perfect, right? We're not perfect. We want to improve ourselves, but until you don't try, you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got to try something different, and let's see what impact is going to make.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes can be negative. When it's negative, you stop that, you change, and if it's a positive, amazing. And then you say to the team, great job, you done a fantastic job, congratulations.
Mm-hmm. As a CEO, I think it's such an interesting position because not only do you have to be passionate about what your business is and understand how to make money, but you also have to be a leader. And not everyone can do both things. And that's why I feel like sometimes, you have these CEOs that may know how to make money, but people don't like working for them. So I wanted to ask you, when you stepped into the position and all of a sudden now you had all these people looking at you and saying, like, be our leader, show us, how to do our jobs and inspire us. What did you do to learn? Did you have a mentor that you go to? Did you, go take certain classes? What did you do to become a good leader?
I think the best quality I have, I'm very humble. So when somebody come, to or in the meeting when we are discussing something, the one thing I will have smile on my face. Sometimes I know they're wrong, sometimes they're right, and we listen. Like I said, I listen carefully, and then we write all the points. And sometimes if it's something very big, we take our time. We don't make decision right away. But like I said, the experience, make a huge difference, But I think, you know, anything you do with passion, with love, they say, wow, this is such a huge problem, and this company is going to cost a lot of money. There's a mistake happen, but I'm not worried. You made a mistake. Make sure you don't make that mistake again. But I'm happy you made that mistake. Learn from it, and don't make that mistake again. That's smart people.
That's true. Okay. What about when you give advice? I'm sure a lot of people come to you and, want to learn from your experiences. What advice do you give for other aspiring leaders that are coming up, starting their businesses on how to be a good CEO?
I mean, there's so many good CEOs out there, and some like so many bad CEOs too. Like like some they are in prison. So you got to learn from everybody. But people who have done something bad in the company, but they have done good too. So so you read books, so you read podcasts these days on TED Talk and all that. and and then you see what's good for you. What's good for you, you adopt that. Then what's negative, you don't want negativity. You don't want to work with people who are negative, because then if you work with somebody all the time, they're negative, and the chances are you're going to become like them. So at our company, for those negative people, there's no room. All about the positive people. You're positive, you're smart, you come with us. You don't have experience, we'll give you the experience. We give chances everybody, because when we started something, we didn't have no experience, right? So we give chances, and like I said, they make a mistake, no problem. I smile on my face. We explain them with love, and this is the right way to do it. And like I said, it's experience. It's for so long now make us good CEO.
Okay. Now I want to ask you about the design process because I think that must be so much fun. That must be the best part of the job to figure out, okay, what are our new products? So you said you work about a year in advance. I've actually checked out your personal Instagram. You, I can just tell, love fashion. You love experimenting. You're not afraid of color or having something that's very bold, which is really cool. Even when you travel, I was like, most people show up in sweatpants and you're showing up looking better than anyone. So, how do you get inspired? What do you do to kind of understand, like, what's the next big hot thing? Or, oh, that is so cool. We should try to put that in our product line. What's the process like?
So design something, oh my God, I love. I wish at my office I don't do anything just about design.
Yeah.
I love it, love
Mm-hmm.
it. So every Wednesday we have three designers. We have a meeting at 3 p.m. every Wednesday. If I'm traveling, then it's a different story. But when I'm in town at the office, every Wednesday we have 3 p.m. meeting. I always look forward to that meeting. At that meeting, let's say now we're starting like 2 weeks ago, fall designing for fall 21. So what we have to do as a designer, what they do is they look at the previous fall season, and we'll see what worked, what didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And if something, let's say backpack is working, and what we're missing in backpack, what type of design we're missing. So we have to do that first, and then we meet next week again. It could be a meeting earlier too. It's not just a Wednesday, but Wednesday we meet, but it could be earlier. Like I said, we can have meeting even next day. We do so many time urgent meetings, and whatever we're missing, so we'll make sure that next season we have that. Sometimes it's difficult because the market is so saturated, it's so big, right? So, but like I said, with experience, we know what our customer want, what kind of color our customer want. But then 95% we stay very consistent. Our design, I'm sure you notice, minimal designs with a lot of functionalities, because I believe that women have so much stuff to stuck to the bag, so we have so many pockets and all that. This is in our head always, the functionality, right? So yeah, so then then designer, I can't sketch. I have a good eye, like you said, but designer's job, then they start sketching, and then every Wednesday, next Wednesday when we meet, I look at the sketches, and first time when you look at the sketches and touch your heart, that's it. That goes in the sample making then.
So you can just tell
So
by
then,
looking at something that you're like, yes, this is it, just by looking at
yeah,
it.
just looking at it, I knew it. It's a big one. So when we get then we send the tech back to factory to make samples. So it takes about 2 weeks to receive the sample, and then from the first sample, it's always some changes. Very rare
Mm-hmm.
that happen. It's perfect, but after two samples, we never make three samples.
Mm-hmm.
Second sample when comes, we knew, okay, last changes, but that's it. Then it's gonna go in the photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I love it. When I see the first sample, then we know we have to adjust this, adjust that, the zipper, the puller, the pocket has to be moved inches left, right, higher. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's I love that.
Mm. Manny, you
I love that.
travel a lot too. So that's what I was thinking. Like, when you travel, you obviously get to see, you get to be exposed to the local fashion. So when you're traveling, do you ever go to a certain area and you're like, Oh, like look at what they're doing with their bags or what they're like using their bags for. I'm going to take this knowledge back and I think we should use that in our product line. Or are you always trying to be consistent with what you originally started with?
Look, consistency is very important for any business, but I think for the design point of view, we need to adopt what's newness there, what's hot out there. So we travel like, good time before pandemic. Every like second week, I'm never home. I'm somewhere, And let's say if I don't travel, sometime I say, what's wrong with me? How come I'm at home? How come I'm traveling? So I take my designer. We go New York 3, 4 times a year, and my best city for inspiration I mentioned many times before is Tokyo. I, I love going to Tokyo, and and also I love architecture, and their architecture in Tokyo. Oh my God, mind blowing, really nice. So we go Tokyo twice a year, then we go to Italy twice a year. We go to London sometime. So the inspiration is doesn't happen when you are sitting at your office at your chair. When I'm sitting in my office, there's no inspiration, there's no creativity. It's all about solving daily problems. But we must travel, and sometimes we are sitting at the airport or in lounges, and we see somebody passing by. Wow, look at that bag, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the inspiration can come from anywhere,
Yeah.
anywhere.
What about when
But
you're
we like to travel.
traveling and you see somebody carrying one of your bags? Maybe they don't know you're the CEO. So do you ever like sit down with them and you're like, your bag, tell me, why did you buy it?
Early years when we used to see, exciting, very
Right?
exciting,
Mm-hmm.
big smile on the face. Sometimes I go, ask them the person, you do like your bag? Oh yes, this is a Man Nut bag, it's vegan, they don't kill any animals. So then I introduce myself. They don't want to shake my hand, they want to give me a hug.
Aw.
Many times.
Mm-hmm.
But now we see, let's say in Toronto airport or Montreal airport, even in Amsterdam, we are big. In London, we've been there since 2005, 6. We have operation there. We are underground tube there. You will see a lot of manna bags. And now these days, not so much. Yes, but when I'm different city, if you see there, yeah, definitely I have to stop the person.
Yeah, of course. That must be so
Everybody,
cool.
yeah, very cool. Underground in London happened many times. Very often, you just enter the tube and somebody's already standing with your bag. And then somebody once happened, we just got in, we just sat, and next station, one person walked in and she said, next to me, and she was with our bag. I said, wow, beautiful bag. But she was very smart. She saw my bag, I showed her, and my sales rep was with me. She was carrying Man Nat bag. So that person who came, she was so smart. She said, you guys from Man Nat, right? So I don't like to say that I'm a CEO of Man Nat, but then our sales rep said, Manny is the owner of the company, and that's it. She asked me millions of questions.
Of course.
How did you come up with the concept, the design, the backpack, and etc. And I'm happy to share the information. It
Mm-hmm.
gives me so much joy.
Of course. What about celebrities? Is that important to you to have celebrities being seen with your product?
Unfortunately, it works. Like when you celebrities carrying your product, it works. But I don't honestly. We give it to them. We send it to them. Whoever, like some vegan celebrity, yeah, definitely Natalie Portman is huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Watson is huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they're shooting some new movies, they request so much product, we send it to them. But we never say if you can take a picture and send it to us. We'd like to, for marketing reason. I never say that.
Mm-hmm.
We are already doing well in Canada. Our brand is really well known in the USA as well, UK as well. I mean, we're doing great without any sport of celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
but they always request
Mm-hmm.
some product.
Okay, but you
Yeah,
don't feel like your brand has been influenced by having celebrities seen with it?
no.
No. Okay, that's interesting. Because I saw a photo of you with Sonam and Anand. And I was like, okay. I was like, I know, they're very into fashion, right? And so I was like, first of all, tell me the story. How did this meeting come to be?
So I think Sonam manager Neha. Her name is Neha. She found MATT NAT. She found actually my account Instagram, and then she found out that I'm the owner of the vegan brand, and she introduced to Sonam, because Sonam that time 2 years back she was at the face going vegan. I think the diet wise she was completely vegan,
Mm-hmm.
but I think she was carrying Gucci, Prada, the bag, because she said I got gifted so many. If I you don't carry, then because of her nature of her business, right?
Mm-hmm.
She'll have to. But uh, but she actually started following me. So when sometimes you look who's following you. I said, wow, Sonam Kapoor. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And I thought maybe it's somebody fake, but then I look at her page because I used to follow her, and then I see, no, this is Sonam Kapoor. And I did thank her following me, and I introduced myself, what I do, and all that. And within, I think, a minute, she replied back. I wasn't expecting any reply. She said, I appreciate, Manny, what do you do? Nice to meet you. I appreciate. And my husband, we are vegan, and we love your product. And uh, congratulations, you have an amazing brand. I love the design, and I'm going to request some bags. And then I said, wow, that's amazing. And then next minute she said, we're going to be in New York, and this is June end, last 2 years back, 2018. I'm going to be in New York with me and Anand. And if you're around, we'd like to meet with you. And so I said, of course. I said, I live in Montreal, which is an hour flight for me. And you tell me which day is good for you, and I'll fly. So she said, okay, it was Saturday. I said, that's perfect. So I said, but I'd like to invite you at our showroom. We have a sales office in New York, in Manhattan. So I'd like to invite you there. And then after that, I'd like to take you the best vegetarian restaurant, ABCV. And then her husband started following me, and he said a couple of comments about the brand. And then when I told ABCV, even he said, oh Manny, wow, I want to take Sonam to ABC since long time, and thank you so much. We'll love to have dinner with you at ABCV. So I must say it was 6 or 6:30 p.m. They came at the office 1 hour. She was at the office. She asked me so many questions about the design, about the fabrics and all that, durability. And I was happy to meet a nice person, and they're really down to earth person, and they both are very amazing person. So then we went to dinner. They were jet lag, so we were at ABCV, my favorite restaurant in New York, and we were there for 2.5 hours. And then they invited me to Bombay, Delhi. So I did uh, went to see them in I did go, sorry, I did go see them in Delhi and Bombay twice. I met them because her husband has three sneaker
Mm-hmm.
stores. So a couple of sneaker store, they have our manna bags. They have.
Oh, great. They sell them.
They sell them, and in March we're supposed to ship them a few hundred from spring 20 collection. But then with the pandemic, everything shut down. We could not send them a new collection.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely. And we would discuss quite a few times that we want to do something together, maybe in London retail store, or maybe in Bombay and all India. So let's see, maybe somewhere in near future.
I
You
was
never
actually
know.
thinking that. I was like, I don't think you've done this before, but would you ever be open to doing like a collaboration with a celebrity, where they like help design a one product, or, the season they kind of come on as like a special designer and they kind of like give their touch. Would you ever be open to that? And if so, which celebrity would you be open to doing that with?
I think if I can think of as Natalie Portman,
Okay. Yep, you
the
mentioned.
hardcore vegan, whoever celebrity we like to collaborate with has to be vegan. You know? That's what who we are, right? So it will be very important to work with vegan celebrity. So I think Natalie Portman, we had couple time discussions with her manager. She was very open, but then the timing wasn't right. So when timing's right, let's see in the future what happened. We'll see. We'll be interested.
Before I let you go, I was actually, when I was Googling Matt and Nat, I noticed that the most common search was reviews and what's in my bag. And so I thought it'd be fun because we get to see all these Instagram bloggers talk about their bag. I want to know what bag you carry and what you carry inside daily.
Yeah, so I'm carrying it's a new style we created. It's going to be in Spring 21 collection.
Hmm.
It's very practical. There's so many pockets.
Hmm.
And then I make sure that I have a lot of room in my bags because sometimes so many files I have to carry. But these days I'm, less files, but I have my iPad,
Hmm.
and in iPad, all my designs and the files and everything is here. Then the bottle of perfume is very important for me.
You need to smell good. It's important.
Yes, and the battery pack a must.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm sure you're using up that battery.
When you travel, you know, all your business it's happen on your cell phone.
Hmm.
So battery life is so fast these days, right?
Hmm.
And then that's it. And a couple of package of gums, and two, three styles of sunglasses. I love sunglasses.
Oh, okay, okay. There you go. Interesting. I actually just as you're mentioning that, something else popped into my head. You said earlier in the morning you wake up and you meditate or do bot, and I thought, I was like, oh, as a CEO, life is crazy. You go in one day and something like COVID-19 suddenly happens, right? So, do you attribute that to your personal success that you wake up and start your day off right by taking that time to meditate or do bot? Is that what you would say?
Yeah. So age, I was just sharing this with some of my friends on the phone two days back. So I told them I've been doing Japji Sap heart since age of 8. I remember. Since then, I never stopped doing it. And so I get up 5:30 in the morning. When before the pandemic time. My routine is 5:30 in the morning. I'm up, shower, and then yoga, and then the prayer, the part, and then the breakfast is very important. I don't miss breakfast, no matter how busy I am, no matter how many. I have a meeting in the morning, an important meeting. I will get up 15 minutes more, but the breakfast. Without breakfast, my body doesn't work. It's the most important like meals of the day, right? So breakfast is must, but only since I would say 2 years, my breakfast is very simple, just minimum 4 different fruits. That's it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing all your insight. I really appreciated it.
You're very welcome to having me. Thank you so much.